Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie, and it's all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice, winner of the 2024 Best of the Tri-State. As we do every Friday, we have Dan DeDona from localnews1.org, who's going to tell us everything that's going on in the community. So Dan, I'm just going to let you tell us. I know there's a lot of local events happening in regards to the holidays. What can people expect to find this weekend?
Well, 'tis the season. Any number of things. In the category of 5 things to do this weekend, there will be the 3rd annual Artists Studio Tour. That'll be taking place out at Penn National. There'll be 24 artists out there. They'll be displaying their wares in 12 different venues.
And this is where? Where did you say?
Out Penn National.
Oh, Penn National.
Penn National. That'll be between 11 and 3, so you probably need to get going if you're gonna get there for that one. Also today, there will be a Cocoa Crawl in downtown. Oh, you've been there.
I know there's a Cocoa Crawl Williamsport, but I think that one's tomorrow. Is this one? There's one today.
This one is in Chambersburg.
Okay.
You'll be able to sample at a variety of different local businesses. There will be, it's all sponsored by the Downtown Business Council of Chambersburg. You can vote for your favorites, and tickets are available online. On the 6th and 7th, both today and tomorrow, between 3 and 8, at Renfrew in Waynesboro. This is kind of interesting because they're doing Christmas on the farm. And now the idea is to show folks how Christmas was celebrated in years past. Of course, Renfrew is a great venue for that. If you've ever been to a place that's got a variety of different Christmas settings, I remember one I looked at, and I could imagine the way it was when I was a kid. I mean, there were toys, there were decorations all over the place. And anyway, they're trying to share some of that with people, so they'll be doing that between 3 and 8 today and tomorrow, the 7th. There'll be tours, wagon rides, live music, crafts, and they'll have period interpreters dressed up, and they'll be telling stories.
That's really fun. That's really fun.
It's a pretty big deal.
I like that.
Let's see. Also tomorrow, there will be a puzzle swap over at the Beeswater Library in Greencastle.
Oh.
What they're looking for is lately used puzzles, and the idea is you bring them in between 10 and 11. And you can take as many as you bring in. So it's just a swap.
That's
apparently
cool.
they're tired of their old inventory. And the last of the 5 things this will also be on the 7th, starting at 11 o'clock. There'll be the Polar Express Pajama Party and Movie. Remember the movie with Tom Hanks?
Yes,
yeah, okay.
It's funny you bring that up. I just rewatched it last night.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, well, when I was a teacher, I taught elementary school for years. Every Christmas, right before we had our Christmas break, we always showed the Polar Express, and we always wore pajamas and had hot chocolate. So that's very nostalgic for me.
Well, this is going to be taking place at the Capitol Theater in Chambersburg. Going to be having a pajama party at 11. And then the movie will start at noon. You can get tickets that include cocoa and other things, snacks, the usual kind of snacks while you're there. And Santa is also going to make an appearance. Those are the top 5 things for this weekend. On a similar vein, though, I remember a week or so ago we talked about a group of people from, I guess it started in Antrim Township and Greencastle, but it also spread to Waynesboro and elsewhere. They went down to help out Farmer John Heilman down in Irwin, Tennessee. And they said at that time that they were making plans to go back down because of to try to help with all the damage that had been caused by Hurricane Helene. Well, they went a second time, and this time they're getting prepared for winter. About 20. I mean, they're still sleeping. A lot of people are still sleeping in sleeping bags down there. This cold snap. You can imagine. So they took down blankets and sleeping bags and coats and they also took a lot of canned goods. It's not just for the farmer, but they kind of focused on him. He's kind of their point of contact for the Irwin area. So they've done that second trip, and they got a third one planned.
That's great.
They told a story about apparently Mr. Heilman has two sections to his property on both sides of the river, but all the bridges are out. So what used to take 10 minutes took them 2 hours to drive up until they finally found a bridge that wasn't knocked out so they could cross over. So it's the damage is still pretty substantial up in that area.
I like hearing these kinds of stories because when these big events and tragedies happen, immediately everybody's on the forefront ready to help, but then as time goes on,
they forget.
Exactly. So it's nice to see that this is still top of mind and they're still helping out.
Well, and there's other things going on as well. There's a group of students from Shalom Christian Academy who went to North Carolina, not related to the Irwin group, but they went down there to help with the cleanup. Pretty interesting. Another sign of the season. I was not aware of this, but Washington County bus riders back in November, they had a deal where if you show up and you bring a canned good of some kind, that was your fare.
You could ride the bus for free.
That was your fare for the day, and so they collected a lot of food, and they provided all those items to the Maryland Food Bank. Mm-hmm. Well, they're doing it again for Christmas, except this time you have to bring new, unused toys. You bring them in, and that'll take care of your bus fare here for the next couple of weeks, I guess. Carroll Valley is also working on collecting canned goods and whatnot for holiday meals for their area, just off to the east of us. There's just so much of this going on. That's why I love this time of year.
Absolutely.
This is just absolutely magnificent.
And I feel like with something like the toys and the canned goods, you probably have something in your home that you're not going to use, that make a little space, get something for yourself, give back to the community a little bit. I mean, we all have something that we can donate.
Okay. Well, in slightly different news, it's kind of related. The Rotary Club of Waynesboro. Every year they have a thing called Toys for Children. So they put together a big budget, and they work with Waynesboro Community and Human Services and some other agencies around to find out excuse me, which families need a little help for the holidays. So last weekend, a group of Rotarians and non-Rotarians got together at Walmart early in the morning on Sunday and went through shopping for 109 families. Not sure exactly how many kids that turns into, but so they bought a lot of toys. And it wasn't just one per kid; it was like 2 or 3 per kid. So pretty nice. So they did that. There's 2 other phases to this that they do. In the coming weeks, they'll be they take all that stuff and they take it down to Hurley Auctions just up the road here. At Hurley Auctions, they have a group of high school students plus Rotarians and anybody else who wants to help out. They come in and they do all the wrapping, and then they put them all in big, Christmassy looking garbage bags.
Sure. Big sacks.
Big sacks. Big sacks. Get them all together and organized and numbered. And then a week or so before Christmas, they have distribution, where they'll have a whole bunch of people. People will show up to say, "I'm so and so," and back ho ho ho, and drag stuff out there. It really is a lot of fun, and it's good to help folks that legitimately need it. There's this time of year, you just really need to take care of folks.
Everybody deserves a Christmas. Everybody does.
Let's see. I'll give you one more. Job shadowing. I was not aware of this, but over at Letterkenny Army Depot, they started a job shadowing program. What they do is they show students what's available. This is something that they do in some of the local high schools as well, with the idea being that they're kids. They haven't been around the planet much. They haven't seen a lot, and they're not dumb. They just don't have experience. So if you mention different kinds of occupations, they don't really. Maybe some really smart ones can connect the dots, but most of them really don't know where individual jobs fit and what kind of promotion and development opportunities there are. So,
I mean, that's something I still struggle with when people tell me their jobs. Thinking, wait, what is?
Me too. When I retired from the Air Force, I went from 28 years being told, "Hey, you go do this." I said, "Okay, got that." Holy cow! I had to wake up every morning and figure out what to wear. It wasn't a uniform. It was startling. So at any rate, so there's this job shadowing, and what they do is they'll take high school students and they'll show them all the different kinds of jobs that they have out at Letterkenny, which is really that's a big operation.
Absolutely.
That's a huge operation out there. Let's see. One other Christmassy thing, the Waynesboro Future Business Leaders of America are collecting things for the homeless through the 9th of December. It's in honor of Homeless Awareness Month, and if anybody has things that they would like to contribute to that, they can drop that off at 25 South Potomac Street. They have bins out there.
I was not aware there was a Homeless Awareness Month.
Neither was I. There was one somebody mentioned to me recently. Well, today is such a. Well, no, you mentioned it.
I did?
You did.
That it was homeless. That it was National something day.
National Pun Day.
Yes. Yes.
And then we tried to outdo each other. That was embarrassing. Well, anyway.
That's what I do on the daily.
But it was fun. For our sports coverage and local news, we're kind of in between seasons right now. So there's an interesting feature in College Corner where we're tracking down where are they now. High school students that did particularly well, and they've moved up into colleges, large and small, in a variety of sports: football, soccer, you name it, field hockey. So they did that for Waynesboro, and in the coming weeks they want to do the same thing for Greencastle and Hagerstown and Chambersburg and Fairfield, and it's kind of interesting because there's this one young lady that. Apparently, she is a goal-scoring phenom. Scored more than one goal a game, had multiple games with multiple goals. Either she's really good or there's not much competition. But it sounds like, as hard as it is, even in modest level soccer, as hard as it is to score goals, if you can do that at any level,
absolutely,
that's pretty remarkable.
Sure. Now, Dan, with the last minute that we have left, what would be something else that you'd want to hit and tell us about?
I'd just like to say that what an amazing year.
Yes.
Santa has a happy sad meter, which must be very confused because the needle hasn't moved much. But before the election, you had an awful lot of people run around with smiles on their faces, and about half of the country didn't. Immediately after the election, those two groups swapped.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing about that, there was all this rhetoric about, oh my, terrible things are going to happen from both sides. And the most amazing thing that happened was the earth kept turning.
Mm-hmm.
We still have families and friends.
Mm-hmm.
We're going into the best season of the year. That needle didn't move an inch, in spite of the fact that all those people changed from smiles to frowns and vice versa. But this time of year, it's probably a better idea, rather than focusing on the end of the world as we know it. Get in close.
Yeah.
Focus on the people that are close to you. The world's going to take care of itself. Mm-hmm. Just do your best.
Yeah. Focus on the joy and all the blessings. Absolutely. We'll be right back on Let's Talk Tri-State.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.